The night was falling over Venice when Brianna, a historian specializing in medieval texts, received a package with no sender. Inside, a rare edition of Nostradamus's Centuries, with pages marked by symbols not found in the original. A note read, "The fifth prophecy begins where the first mistake was made." Intrigued, she called Lucio, a physicist studying anomalous climate patterns, finding him at the University Observatory. As they analyzed the codes, an alarm sounded. Global energy systems registered simultaneous failures. On the screen, a map showed collapse points aligned like constellations. Lucio muttered something about a pattern predicted in ancient writings, but Brianna was already flipping through the book, stopping on a quatrain mentioning fire dragons swallowing suns. At that moment, a red flash cut across the sky, reflecting on the canal's waters. 2 days later, in Geneva, Marco analyzed ice samples from Antarctica, finding unidentified metallic particles. His colleague Justine suggested comparing them to meteorites, but historical records did not indicate recent falls. An alert informed that satellites had detected an object on a collision course with Earth, predicted to impact in 6 months. Marco recalled a passage from Nostradamus about a celestial messenger bringing famine and black waters. That night, Justine opened a secret file, images of Afghan caves with hieroglyphs identical to those in Brianna's book. On the screen, a countdown timer blinked in red. In the south of France, Father Antoine listened to confessions under the dim light of a church. A mysterious man reported having seen the beast with 3 heads born from the ashes of an ancient king. Antoine, an expert in theology and cryptography, recognized the reference to a prophecy about the destruction of lineages. While researching in the parish archive, he found a parchment with the crest of an extinct family, containing the same symbols as in Nostradamus's book. The next morning, a fire destroyed the archive, and the man who confessed was found dead in the river. Antoine, now a fugitive, called Brianna, citing a passage about the truth hidden under bleeding stones. In Kyoto, Barrow hacked into servers in search of information. His screen displayed a ciphered message, "The fourth prophecy feeds on silence." Brianna, Lucio, Justine, Marco, and Antoine met in a secret room beneath the Vatican Library. They discovered that the 5 prophecies were interconnected. The first link was the celestial object on a collision course, the second, the particles in the ice samples, the third, the symbol of the French family, the fourth, the energy collapses, and the fifth, no one dared to decipher. During the discussion, a projectile shattered the window, and a drone with the emblem of a shadowy organization hovered outside. Fleeing through underground tunnels, Brianna noticed that Justine's countdown coincided with the impact date. At the end of the tunnel, a chamber contained a crystal sphere projecting the constellations mentioned in the prophecies. Upon touching it, visions of submerged cities and flaming deserts emerged, and a voice whispered, "The choice is not between winning or losing, but between remembering or forgetting." Outside the chamber, Barrow unraveled the last code. The events were not predictions, but experiments. Centuries ago, someone had manipulated the present to create a self-fulfilling pattern. The group, divided between destroying the sphere or using it, faced agents of the organization in a silent fight. Brianna held the sphere, seeing all possibilities intertwining. If the prophecy was stopped, another would arise. If ignored, chaos would reign. Lucio, injured, murmured, "It's a loop. We are the loop." The sphere dissolved in her hands, and the symbols on the walls glowed, projecting a new constellation, the 6th prophecy, not written, existing only in the moment of choice. The Geneva Observatory recorded a change in the object's trajectory. Antoine whispered an ancient prayer, and Justine concluded, "They are not 5, they are infinite." The countdown reached 0, and the world continued to spin, carrying unanswered questions. The flash of the sphere still burned in Brianna's retinas when the ground shook. Part of the chamber collapsed, burying the symbols. Lucio pulled Justine into a corridor, while Barrow saw his screens flicker frenetically. "Interference patterns," he murmured, recognizing a numerical sequence linked to the celestial object. In Kyoto, a rival hacker left a message, "You're not ready for the 6th." In New Mexico, Marco and Antoine examined a crater lined with a substance similar to that of the sphere. "It's not a meteorite," said Marco. "It's a fragment of the same experiment." Antoine quoted an apocryphal verse about stars that carry the seed of repentance. A hooded figure left a device near the campsite, which projected a replica of the sphere with the inscription, What was broken is reforged in the blood of the Lamb. In Oslo, Justine analyzed seismic data, noting that global tremors followed the rhythm of heartbeats. An epicenter in the Norwegian Sea pointed to a demolished medieval convent. They are reactivating forgotten places, she concluded, sending a cryptic message to Brianna. Hours later, an unidentified submarine was detected in the area, and communications were cut off. Brianna, hiding in Calabria, translated a manuscript with the words, "water that does not wet," and "fire that does not burn." Lucio remembered neutrinos capable of altering material states. "What if the prophecies are equations?" he asked. The line went dead, and armed men boarded the dock. Brianna fled, taking an 18th-century diary about a machine powered by solidified light. In Chile, Barrow decoded the countdown's code. It marked the collapse of an artificial magnetic field maintained by unknown satellites. A virus erased data about the sixth prophecy, leaving only an audio file. When the mirror cracks, the true sky will be revealed. Observatories recorded the horizon curving, like a lens about to break. Clocks stopped. Justine saw data form a human figure composed of millions of luminous points, while Marco and Antoine activated the machine from the diary. The air froze, and Antoine recognized the water that does not wet, a liquid preserving memories. Brianna, in a cave, deciphered, "The sixth link is not a prophecy, but a mirror." The wall dissolved, revealing a lake with spheres identical to the one in the Vatican, projecting alternative worlds. Lucio whispered, "We don't need to choose now. Only understand." In different parts of the world, signals persisted, patterns defying physics, stories aligning with prophecies. Barrow found a new code: the mirror reflects, but does not deceive. Brianna did not touch the spheres. She wrote a new prophecy about the choice to remember, and launched it into the lake. The world continued to spin, carrying the possibility of a new beginning. The flash of the spheres still shone in her retinas, but the true prophecy was in her hands.